Crowds of opposition taking to the streets. Activists, politicians and trade unionists joining together under the banner Hands Off.
This is Donald Trump's America, and I don't want it, y'all!
In total, hundreds of thousands took to the streets, marching in cities across the country in the biggest day of action since Trump took office for his second term.
FCX gonna hold.
Many directing their anger at the president and billionaire businessman Elon Musk after trillions were wiped from US markets this week.
Trump, Elon, neither one of them represent anything that true Americans care about.
Donald Trump was far from the action. On a golf course in Florida, he urged his supporters on social media to hang tough. It won't be easy, but the end result will be historic. But speaking to a political rally in Italy, one of the president's closest advisors was sceptical tariffs would pave the way to economic prosperity.
Both Europe and the United States should move, ideally, in my view, to a zero tariff situation.
We should not be using tariffs as a revenue source. It's the most destructive of taxes. I think that there is at least a 60% chance of recession if these tariffs stick.
Hands off the UK!
There were protests too in London and Paris as other major economies weighed up their responses to Trump's tariffs. The real-world impacts of the tariffs starting to show already. Luxury car maker Jaguar Land Rover has paused shipments to the US while it tries to work out the new tax regime.
I would say it's embarrassing, but it has an impact on everyone's lives throughout the world.
Our leaders allowed foreign countries to rig the rules of the game, to cheat, to steal, to rob, to plunder. That has cost America trillions of dollars in wealth.
What remains to be seen is if the president holds his nerve against the opposition and against warnings the tariffs could push the United States closer to an economic recession. Carrington Clark, ABC News, Washington.
We are finally putting America first.
It looks like America's Liberation Day tariff revolution will be better for Australian borrowers than for savers and investors. The market has put in the odds of a rate cut next month at 100%, up from 66% odds a week ago. And 4 cuts are now expected this year instead of 3. Partly because of that, but mainly because financial traders around the world have had a severe anxiety attack, the Australian dollar has driven off a cliff. As for the share market, and therefore your super, the global market, where about half of it is invested, has dropped 15% since late February. The local index has fallen less, about 11%, but it's early days. In the GFC, it took more than a year for the Australian All Ordinaries Index to fall 60%. The pandemic crash was short and sharp, 37% in a month. To be honest, this feels a bit more like the GFC than COVID, but it all depends on whether Donald Trump changes his mind about the tariffs and backs off. He might. Anything's possible. But so far he's doubling down.